All right, well, any of you that are following the Checkpoint SL6 review that I've been doing, of course, you know, you guys saw me when I got this bike, and you know, my first ride on it, and it takes a while to get an honest opinion on a bike, you know, especially a guy that owns a bike shop and then sells these things. You know, my opinion's honest. I ride these things too. We just did a 50-mile mixed surface adventure ride, and that's where I think the Trek Checkpoint, this new Trek Checkpoint, really accelerates in that. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. You know, I do own a bicycle shop, Biloxi Bicycle Works. The bike shop's a little bit in a financial trouble, so I'm working my ass off trying to save. It means I don't get to ride my bike as much. I'm saying this because I think a gravel bike is perfect for someone in my position, someone that works a lot and wants one bike to do multiple things. Today was the longest ride I've done in a long time. Last year at this time I was racing Mississippi Gravel Cup and raced myself into shape. 50-mile race I was feeling good afterwards. I actually, you know, I hit an overall podium in that series. So this year my fitness is way down. I'm at the lowest I've been. And so today I did a 50-mile adventure ride with some friends. Actually, I got lost. We turned it into 57 or 59 miles. Let me just say 60 miles today. And my legs are feeling it. But we had such a good time, and I think a lot of it was the bike. If I was out on my road bike today, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. You know, I love mountain biking, but I wouldn't have had that 4-hour endurance thing on a mountain bike. On the gravel bike, we were able to do this big loop, and out here in the DeSoto National Forest, we've got a lot of out and backs. I wanted a big loop, so we had to throw in a few miles of pavement here or there. Plus, I wanted to check out the Trek Checkpoint SL6 on a mixture of road and gravel. I really wanted to see how the Girona tires do, and I wanted to see how the gearing does. So this is a SRAM Rival Explorer electronic, 40 with a 1044, I believe. And I wanted to see how that would do on the open road. I might get a chance to go to Europe this summer for a little bit. And I need one bike to do multiple things. I think in Europe they do a lot of road riding, but I think gravel is starting to come on there too. So if I've got to travel with one bike, it's gonna be a bike I could probably do both things on. Now, this bike's not as fast as my road bike, but it's a gravel bike. It's a little bit different. Would I've preferred to have been out on my road bike today, maybe have a little bit higher average speed, or being able to hit multiple surfaces today, and my average speed wasn't as high. Plus, I got to socialize with some people, you know. So I'm not just training. I'm riding for mental fitness, and that's where I think the gravel bike and mixed surface does so well. So let me just tell you about how the comfort at the end of the 50 miles, you know, 3.5 hours into this at 55 years old, I was so happy to have the ISO speed. Having a little comfort built into this bike definitely helped. At the beginning of the ride, I didn't notice it as much, but you know, I mean, we hit some mountain bike trail today and some pretty torn up roads, some potholes, some sand. At the end of the day, I mean, these vibrations were getting muted by the ISO speed, and I appreciated that. My friend Matthew was on his 3T, which is a fast gravel race bike, and he said he felt some of the vibrations coming up, you know, through his spine and into his shoulders. And I'm not saying that the ISO speed, you know, stops at 100%, but definitely a lot more comfortable for me. But yet, it's fast. Like, there's a few times when, you know, the group split up a little bit, and I had to try to catch up. And when I put the power down on this bike, it's fast. It's not their race model. They've got the Checkmate, and I haven't really ridden the Checkmate, but I got to say that the Checkpoint's fast. I do gravel race. I haven't gravel raced this yet, but I do need a bike that's going to be fast enough to do that. Or I like to lead a lot of fast group rides. I'm not there yet. I'm just trying to get my fitness back, and I'm trying to do it in a way that's, you know, healthy. You know, I'm an addict, so I could get into training and focus on nothing but that. But I want to do it fun, and I want to do it on my gravel bike. The geometry of this bike was very stable. The rake and trail, the way the frame's designed, really made this bike handle well. I did fishtail a few times in some real deep sand, and a lot of that's just me not being on the bike as much as I normally am. But I got to say that this bike probably helped correct that. It's not just a race bike, it's an adventure bike. So you can see, you know, it's got different mounting points. We're talking about doing like a bike packing day up starting right here at this lake, actually. When me and the guys were talking about that, more of an adventure style ride. And this bike, I'll be able to put my bags on. I'll be able to, you know, bag it out and have an adventure ride. And then yet, if I do want to lead a fast group ride or something, it's take the bags off and you've got a fast bike. So anyway, once again with this SRAM Explorer Rival, I was riding my last gravel bike had Apex double tap, which was good for a mechanical shifting bike. But the Rival really, you could tell, I mean, that's the electronic shifting is so smooth and precise. I could shift under power. The shifting on this bike was absolutely fantastic. I think the Rival's worth a little bit of extra money. It's very, very, very comfortable. And especially when you haven't been riding your bike for a long time, you know, comfort means something. I worked a lot, 62 hours in the bike shop this week. And then I'm, you know, come out to do a ride on my day off. I don't want to get beat up, but I also want to be able to keep the pace. I have to say that these brakes were fantastic. You know, when I'm out riding the road, there's not as many big hills around here, but on the gravel, we actually have some pretty steep. We just climbed Bigfoot Hill, and we went down Bigfoot Hill earlier, so these brakes work fantastic. This whole bike works good. Now, anybody can look and see that I did change the stock wheels. I had a set of some carbon wheels, some Lund carbon wheels, and I'm not really doing a review on those, or a trade-in wheel that I got. And really the only reason I put those on is because, you know, as a bike shop owner, I'm probably not going to keep this bike multiple years. You know, I'll probably ride it this season and then sell it off to a friend and, you know, get something new. And when I do, I love to say, hey, look, I've got a brand new the stock wheel set, and it helps the selling point when I can say, like, these are new takeoffs. So people get a brand new set of wheels that are trued from the factory and are fresh. So that's really the only reason I put these carbon wheels on there. These aren't the highest end carbon wheel. Like I said, it was I traded some. You know, I own a bike shop, so, you know, there's always some swapping and some trading and stuff going on. And I think I traded some Roval wheels when I stopped being a Specialized dealer for these. And now I just use them for, you know, my gravel bike. So so the stock wheels that come on this bike are actually really nice. They're an aluminum wheel. I believe they're 25 millimeter internal width. But that's the only thing I've changed on this bike, and I'm keeping it stock. I'm not changing anything else. The bike ride's fantastic the way it is. It was a shakedown ride, so I think my handlebars slipped a little bit today. That's me. I assembled this bike. When I assemble a customer's bike, of course I use a torque wrench on everything. And I probably had to throw this bike together super quick on a Sunday morning before a ride. So I missed torquing the bars correctly. Oh no, you know what I did? I was waiting for a blender stem. I didn't have one and I wanted to use my GoPro, so I put this weird thing on there. When I did that, I had to use the unstock bolts. So that's what I did. I didn't, it's my fault that my handlebars slipped. It's not Trex. Anyway, pay attention when you're assembling stuff. The bike looks awesome. I told my friend today I like riding a white gravel bike, and I had some friends who were like, man, that's gonna get dirty, but I'll wash it. I own a bike shop. It's got this cool sparkle paint job, and it's two-tone, so I don't know if this camera picks it up, but it's sparkle, and then it goes to more of a matte, and then it says Trek Small. I'm not big into some of these brands that, you know, man, my new Trek mountain bike's got big Trek all over it. And I do like Trek, I'm a Trek dealer, but I like this because it's nice and small, you know. I do have the option for a front derailleur, and with SRAM it's so easy to put a front derailleur on there and set everything up with literally a touch of a button. So I don't know, this bike is really starting to impress me. It doesn't have the drop seat stays that I was used to on my Diverge, and I do like the look of a drop seat stay, but now that I have a regular diamond frame, it rides better. I have a feeling, you know, years ago when bike designers were designing frames, there's a reason that they made a diamond frame, and then we came up with these drop chain stays for multiple reasons. One, seat post flex, but this bike doesn't need it because it's got ISO speed. I like the look of a traditional diamond frame, and it rides better. I thought my Specialized Diverge was good, but man, this bike's better. Trek SL6 Checkpoint, looking fantastic bike. I'm gonna keep doing a long-term review on this bike because I'm gonna ride it. Probably ride this bike for about a year. 50, so almost 60 miles today on a body that's not used to doing 60 miles, and I feel good. I mean, my legs hurt, to tell you the truth, but comfort-wise, my body feels good. And I've got to go to work tomorrow. Some of us don't get to recover and take ice baths and get massages and all that stuff. I'm going to do a few stretches, and tomorrow morning I might do some yoga, but right back to work I go. And I like when I can feel fresh after a ride like I just did. So super cool bike, man. Look at it, it looks awesome. All right, Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube. If you like what I do, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Just helps YouTube kind of see if you guys are watching me. And this is a real review, unscripted, uncandid, just how I feel after riding the 2025 Trek Checkpoint SL6. I'm very happy with this bike. Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube, over and out.